Hello, SweetGL family. Please subscribe to our channel for more beautiful stories. Thank you all for your supports.
Moretti stood at the floor-to-ceiling window of her penthouse office, burgundy hair cascading over her shoulders. Her golden eyes, sharp, calculating, impossibly beautiful. At 28, she commanded an empire most people didn't even know existed. She was feared, respected, untouchable, and completely, utterly alone. Mommy. The office door burst open, and two identical whirlwinds of energy came rushing in. Leo and Luca, her 6-year-old twin sons, with their dark curly hair and eyes that mirrored her own golden gaze. They were her entire world, the only softness in a life built on steel. I thought I told Maria to keep you two in the playroom, Ava said, but her voice held no real reproach. She crouched down, arms opening wide as both boys crashed into her embrace. We finished our homework, Leo announced proudly. All of it, Luca added, his small hands gripping her suit. Is that so? Ava pulled back, studying their faces with exaggerated skepticism. Even the math problems? Even those, Leo confirmed solemnly. She kissed both their foreheads, breathing in the innocent scent of children's shampoo and cookies. These moments were sacred. In this room, she wasn't the Moretti boss. She was just Mom. All right then. Go tell Maria I said you can have dessert before dinner. But don't tell her I said that. The boys giggled, sharing that twin telepathy look, before racing back out. The smile faded from Ava's lips the moment they were gone. She straightened, the weight of her crown her second-in-command, Marcus, stood by the door, tall, graying, loyal to the bone. The shipment arrives tonight, he said quietly. The Rossi family is making noise again. They want a meeting. Let them make noise, Ava replied, they know better than to actually move against us. There's something else. Marcus hesitated, which was unlike him. There's been chatter. Someone's asking questions about you. Carefully. Professionally. Ava's fingers stilled on the documents before her. Who? We don't know yet. But whoever it is, they're good. Our usual sources have nothing. A cold feeling settled in her stomach, instinct honed by years of survival. Someone was hunting for information. That meant someone was planning something. Double the security on the boys, she said immediately. I want eyes on them 24/7. And find out who's asking questions. I don't care what it costs. Already done. She trusted Marcus completely, but trust only went so far in her world. I'm going out tonight. His eyebrows rose slightly. Ava rarely went anywhere that wasn't business. Alone, she added. I need to think. That's not safe. I'll take precautions. But I need air, Marcus. Just for a few hours. He nodded slowly, knowing better than to argue when she used that tone. The Velvet Rose was the kind of exclusive club where the rich played and the powerful conducted business under the guise of pleasure. Ava had ownership stakes in it, naturally, but she rarely visited in person. Tonight, however, she needed the reminder that the world existed beyond her bulletproof windows. She wore a simple black dress that was anything but simple, it hugged every curve, the fabric expensive enough to be modest while somehow being devastating. She entered. The VIP section was prepared for her, a private booth with a perfect view of the club floor. She ordered whiskey, and let the music wash over her. That's when she saw her. A woman at the bar, alone, nursing what looked like gin. Long black hair wrapped elegantly at the nape of her neck in a low, sophisticated bun that left a few artful strands framing her face. Even from a distance, Ava could see she was stunning, the kind of beauty that didn't need to announce itself. Their eyes met across the room. The woman didn't look away. Neither did Ava. It was like being struck by lightning, sudden, electric, impossible to ignore. Ava's pulse quickened in a way that had nothing to do with danger and everything to do with something she'd long since buried. Want. Desire. The possibility of connection. Before she could second-guess herself, Ava stood and walked toward the bar. Jenny had spotted her target the moment she walked in. Ava Moretti. The woman she'd been sent to destroy. Jenny had studied her for weeks, photos, surveillance footage, behavioral patterns. She knew Ava was beautiful, but the pictures hadn't captured the reality. The way she moved with unconscious grace, everything, the quiet power that radiated from her like heat. Jenny's heart hammered against her ribs. Not from nerves, she'd been trained too well for that. This was a mission. Get close. Gain trust. Find the weakness. Execute. She'd been trained for this since she was 15, molded and shaped by Ella into the perfect weapon. Ella, who had saved her from the streets, given her purpose, taught her everything. Ella, who was also the most dangerous woman Jenny had ever known. "Hello," Ava said, standing in front of her. Jenny looked up, letting her lips curve into a slow fake smile. Ava slid into a chair close enough that Jenny could smell her perfume. A smile ghosted across Ava's lips. The bartender arrived with Ava's whiskey, breaking the moment. "I'm Ava," extending a hand. Jenny took it, feeling the warmth of her palm, the strength in those slender fingers. "Jenny. Just Jenny. For now." Ava's thumb brushed across her knuckles before releasing her hand. "Mysterious. I like it." They talked for hours. Or, time seemed to lose meaning. Jenny had planned to play a role, to be whoever she needed to be to get close. Ava was sharp, witty, surprisingly genuine when she laughed. She asked questions but didn't pry. She listened like Jenny's words actually mattered. It was intoxicating. Dangerous. "Dance with me," Ava said suddenly, standing and offering her hand. Jenny should have said no. Should have kept distance, maintained control. But her hand was already reaching out, fitting into Ava's like it belonged there. The dance floor was crowded, bodies moving to the deep bass that thrummed through the space. But when Ava pulled her close, everything else faded. They moved together, finding a rhythm that felt both new and familiar. Ava's hands rested on her body, respectful but possessive. Jenny's arms draped over her shoulders, bringing them close enough. "You're different," Ava murmured, her lips dangerously close to Jenny's ear. "From anyone I've met." "How so?" "You feel real. Everything else in my life is carefully constructed, controlled. But this." She pulled back just enough to look into Jenny's eyes. "This feels like chaos. The good kind." Jenny's heart clenched. She was the worst kind of fake, the most carefully constructed lie Ava would ever encounter. "What if I'm not what you think I am?" Jenny heard herself ask. Ava's smile was soft, almost sad. "No one ever is. We're all playing roles, aren't we? The question is whether there's something real underneath." Ava leaned in and kissed her. Ava made a small sound of surprise that quickly melted into something else. Her hand came up to cup Jenny's face, gentle but sure, and she kissed again with a passion that stole her breath and sense. It was slow and deep, exploratory, like they were both learning a new language and loving every syllable. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Ava rested her forehead against Jenny's. "Come home with me," she whispered. "I can't," Jenny said, and meant it. "Not tonight." But. Ava's eyes were dark with want. "Give me your number. Let me take it slow." Ava studied her for a long moment, then nodded. "Okay. Slow. I can do it slowly." They exchanged numbers in the relative quiet of the club's entrance. Ava's driver was already waiting, a black Mercedes that screamed money and power. "When can I see you again?" Ava asked. Soon, Jenny promised. I'm going to hold you to that. Jenny disappeared into the club. She pulled out her secondary phone and typed a message to Ella. Contact made. She's interested. We'll proceed to phase 2. The response came quickly. Good. Don't fail me, darling. You know what happens to failures. Jenny stared at the message until the screen went dark. Across the city, in a penthouse even more luxurious than Ava's, Ella Blackwood read Jenny's message with a cold smile. She was beautiful in a way that made people uncomfortable, too perfect, too controlled. Her platinum blonde hair was cut in a severe asymmetrical bob. It framed her face like a weapon, elegant and dangerous. Her eyes were a striking ice blue, so pale they were almost colorless, giving her an otherworldly, predatory appearance. At 35, she'd built an empire that made Ava Moretti's look like a corner store. The difference was that no one knew it. Ella operated in absolute shadow, pulling strings through intermediaries, letting others take credit and risk while she accumulated power. And Ava Moretti had something Ella wanted: territory, connections, and a reputation that could be weaponized. But this wasn't just business. 5 years ago, Ella and Ava had crossed paths at a summit between the major families. What started as strategic conversation had become something else entirely. Then Ava had ended it. Cleanly, kindly, but definitively. She'd said she couldn't afford maltreatment from the women she had loved in the past. Her focus had to be on building her empire and protecting her family. Ella had smiled and agreed, playing the understanding partner. Inside, something had shattered. No one left Ella Blackwood. No one dismissed her. And no one got to be happy after breaking her heart. Jenny was her masterpiece, a girl Ella had found at 15, brilliant and broken, and shaped into the perfect assassin. Loyal. Lethal. Beautiful enough to open any door. But never knew she was a weapon for Ella's past revenge. And now she would be the blade that destroyed Ava Moretti from the inside out. From the shadows of the room, her advisor stepped forward. Vincent was younger, scarred, utterly devoted. Confident. The target appears interested. Of course she is. I trained Jenny to be irresistible. Ella poured herself wine, watching it catch the light like blood. Ava always did have a weakness for beautiful, mysterious women. It's what drew her to me, once upon a time. Are you certain about this approach? Direct action would be cleaner. Clean isn't the point. Ella's ice blue eyes glittered with something dark. I want her to feel betrayal. I want her to trust Jenny, to care for her, maybe even love her. And then I want her to know it was all a lie. That's a pain that lasts forever. And if Jenny develops actual feelings? Ella's laugh was sharp. Jenny knows better. I've trained her too well. She understands that emotions are tools, nothing more. She'll play her part perfectly. Jenny was hers, body and soul. This revenge would be perfect.